Hi everyone, my name is Maneka and this is my husband Kristopher.
Hello.
And we want to share with you today our top tips about creating health freedom in your life. Because what we see in the world is so much illusion, so much pain, where people trust authorities, trust people that actually in the background does not want them to be well. And we have gone through some severe health journeys, both of us, so we know how it is to both have physical pain and emotional pain. And we feel with you that are going through this, and we really want to share these gold nuggets with you today that we feel so important, so that people can come out of their pain, create this health freedom, and really start to just live in health and wealth.
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to start with your
story?
Yeah,
I can start. I think my journey has been very physical. I caught Lyme disease many years ago now, but it took me 5 years to actually overcome the Lyme disease, because when I got it, the doctors here in Sweden, they didn't understand that it was Lyme. I got all the symptoms. I got, severe headaches. I was nauseous. I started to have pain in my whole body, especially in the joints. My whole knee just swallowed up like a balloon. It was very severe, and I got these headaches, and after that I couldn't feel the left side of my body after a while. So I was of course very worried, but I did all the tests. Came to a neurology specialist, met so many people. Everyone just said, "Oh, you're fine," and I felt like, no, I'm not fine. I can't feel my body. I'm having headaches, nausea. I can't exercise because I would just be aching. My whole body was aching. So it took me 3 years until actually it was 2 years after my father, who's a medical doctor, reacted and said, "We need to find something else for you." And on that journey, I finally got completely well. And I feel I've been in contact with so many people that have gone through the same process of not being understood, not being seen, and they don't have these tools that I got. Because first, my father, completely saved me with technologies from Germany. One of them was ozone therapy. That actually got me on my legs again. I could start to move, I could start to exercise, I was alive again. And after another while I was almost well, but I was still tired. I couldn't, I was exhausted. And the next tool for me, the most powerful tool that helped me, was the electrolyzed reduced water that we now have in our home. So these two are just such powerful tools, the ozone therapy, that works actually as an oxidant in the body. It kills the germs, the bacteria, the viruses that we often have in the body that are there all the time without us knowing it. And the water works in the opposite way actually. It works as an antioxidant. So it helps the body to be detoxified, to energize the cells in the body, and that is what I felt. There was a detox period of maybe 3 weeks where I was having nausea, headaches, and these kind of things. And after these 3 weeks, my energy level went up again. And I remember, thinking that, wow, I feel almost more energized than I was before I got sick. I was just so
You have
happy.
almost more energy than I do now.
Are you jealous?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you have some more detoxing to do. But that was a bit about my story, more of the physical healing, and today I'm well and I'm health, I'm free in my health. And you had more like a psychological journey.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But-
that is so, I think, powerful for people to hear that are down psychologically or
Yeah.
caught.
I think my journey or my story is pretty similar to other people's stories. I grew up in a not so safe environment, you can say, and early on I started to do substance abuse and drugs and alcohol, and from the age of like 16, something like that. And when I was about 20 years old, I I have done so much drugs. I had abused myself, my body so much, so I got this psychosis. And this led me on a journey to, really trying to survive mentally. Because what happened then, I realized that I completely broke my mind. I got problems with paranoia and I had basically no trust in anything, you can say. And early on I understood that I had to do something, otherwise I would completely die. So what happened was that I completely broke with everything that had to do with substance abuse for a while. And I moved out of Gothenburg to try to heal myself. Because I felt also that early on I went to a psychologist to ask about my problems, and from the start they only wanted to give me medication. And it was something about that that they could not really give me any advice how to better my situation. They just wanted to give me, new medications and stuff like that. And
It's just like with me, they just wanted to give me painkillers because I had headaches. It's not about going to the core of the root of the problem.
Exactly. But that was somehow a blessing anyway, because I saw that, okay, these people, the authorities that are supposed to help us, they had no clue. They could not help at all. So what happened was that I started my own journey. This is like exactly 20 years ago now. And I didn't have anybody. I didn't, meet anybody who said that trust yourself, you can do this, and I was on my own, you can say.
And people can even get provoked by it, can't they? When you talk about like going your own path.
Yeah, because the problem is when they have substance abuse and they have problems with their psychological state, and is that they fall into the medical trap, and trying to go into these AA meetings and stuff like that. And mostly people get stuck in that world
and
forever.
They get addicted by some medical products often, don't they?
They get more addicted to another substance maybe, and also I think the mind is quite. It likes, even if there's something bad happening to you, the mind gets used to being in a negative state also. So if people, they stop abusing alcohol or they stop abusing drugs, but instead they get addicted to being in the identification of being a substance abuser, so to say. So there is really no avenues to freedom, as I see it. So
At least not presented by the conventional ways.
Yeah, precisely. And I didn't know this, the first 10 years I was completely stressed out. I almost couldn't, work because I couldn't be around people in a sense, because I felt that I couldn't fit in anywhere, and because my mental state was, so severe that I almost couldn't talk about it. So I couldn't go to, any parents. I didn't have any friends. I didn't want to go to any doctors. So there was somehow this lack of opportunities was in a sense a good thing, because it brought my total responsibility back onto myself. And I moved away from Gothenburg for 15 years, and I lived in 3 different cities, because for me it was just moving around and trying to find something that could work for me. And eventually 15 years later, to make a very long story quite short, I started to come on the right path, to finding the right tools, and I was starting to heal mentally. And this was a very slow process, but if I would have had somebody telling me early on, these things that works, maybe this period should have been maybe just a few years, not 17, 18 years. So.
And what did you find? What was the kind of key points for you in that process?
I did like everything. I did yoga, I did meditation, I tried everything. Just trying to, anything that could help me, like, it felt like I was like broken mentally. I didn't have any trust. There were, panic attacks and all this. But when I came to realize that I had to detox my body, and realize that I shouldn't, put bad things into my body, eat the right foods, and like doing ozone therapy, fasting, for example. Fasting was huge for me, because fasting really went to the core of any substance abuse, you can say. Because the first addiction we have is food. So when you try to, control that habit, you actually are affecting all other habits also. And as you know, I've done many fasts, and you've seen the.
You did a dry fast once for 5 days. I was so worried. I thought he was gonna die.
Yeah, that's also an amazing thing that.
But he did it. I'm really impressed by you and everything. And I think there's so many people really being inspired by you and what you're doing, what you've done. Because just like you say, that maybe people, it's not to say anything bad about AA, that's helped so many people, but people can also, like you said, get caught in that identity of the AA and not going to the psychological core, as you say.
I don't want to talk bad about any path any people do. Anything that can keep you away from alcohol or substances, it's a good thing. But I think if you are going to find real freedom, this is something that you are going to have to do yourself totally. And many times people are caught up in everybody else's expectations of them. You should go there, you should do that. This is wrong, this is right. And being, for example, in AA, you might feel the pressure that you have to be so perfect, or if you go to the medical professions or where they have expectations on you, then you can hardly grow in that environment, because growth and stuff like that comes when you have yourself to rely on, and when you have you yourself are responsible for your journey, I guess. So
I think that's just like something where we met as well, isn't it? Like I feel you so much, and I feel like that's the point that I came to as well. Like there is no help to get in the ordinary society, when you have that amount of pain. At one point I was even paralyzed, my whole left side, and you feel, and you go to the doctor again and they say there's nothing wrong with you. I mean, then of course you panic, or if you're in this state that you are and there's just no help to get, it's just take a pill and be happy, or there's nothing wrong with you, just go get over it. Then then you have to rely on yourself. Then you see through the whole illusion that there is a society that is here for us. And I think that's something that is so important to just stress, to take the power back over your health. You have to make your own decisions and think for yourself, because, and there are great doctors out there, like my father, like many others, but a lot of them, the real health practitioners, get actually harassed by the society that we have. That's what I've seen with my father. He's been so, they're after him all the time. When he makes people walk in a week that has been in a wheelchair, or people who have terminal cancer, they start to live again and they're fine. When I see this, and I see that he's being harassed, and when I see that we haven't gotten any help, we've had to find our own tools, and we have found our own tools. We're completely healthy today. We live a beautiful life. Then, of course, we feel so much compassion for everyone that doesn't have that around them, and we just want to encourage you to dare to speak your own mind, to look up things for yourself, or reach out to us and take care of, or take part of our tools, because we've found tools, I mean, financially as well. When you have health problems, like you said, you can't work maybe, and of course that affects you mentally as well. So we actually have tools that you can use to get finances as well, and your health back. And that is an important part. And then people say, oh, you want to sell something, you want to... No, this is a system, a movement that we're working with, where people live on their own terms, where people take charge of their own health, where you are a sovereign being, where you are your own boss, thinking your own mind.
I think we have to get over the thought that the society really wants something good for us. I'm not saying that there are people out there who wants good things for you, but this system is its own entity. It has its own agenda. There are too many economical reasons why you should not trust this system today. Totally. My vision for anybody who wants to be better or stop substance abuse, I want them to go all the way. I want them to be completely free of anything. Also, to be free from the identification of being a substance abuser. That's real freedom. And it can be done. And I wish 15 years ago I would have seen somebody like me talking like this, because it's possible. You have to really basically, I mean, trust yourself. Learn to trust yourself. We are not here to say that, like, by just doing that you can just become miraculously free, in a week or a day. But if you have your own trust, you are on a really good path. And we are not saying that it is not anything good out there. Just because we don't vaccinate, or some people, they think that just because we say no to vaccinations, that we say no to the whole medical establishment. That's not true either. There are some parts that are good. You might have to go for surgery for some reason. That's perfect. It's wonderful. But it is, what I'm speaking about is how you take care of yourself, in the meantime. How do you treat your body? How do you think what do you say to yourself on a daily basis?
And that's such a complex thing. I mean, us as humans, we can't just take a pill and get well. I mean, of course our thoughts affect us, Our relationships affect us. The things we eat affect us. The environment we're in. I mean, it's a whole picture. And of course it's complex, but that journey of discovering your body, being in contact with yourself, being in contact with in your relationship, like with us, being honest and real to start out with, see where you're at, and then start to explore. Then you see that there's so much out there. There's so many solutions to creating this, top health freedom for you.
Yeah.
And we have found so much. We can't get it all into this call, but just get in contact with us, and we're so happy to share it.
Yeah, I think health freedom is your ability to think outside the box, to do your own research, and not to fall for logical arguments that is based in fear, that you see a lot of there. And as you say, it's there are really good ways for you to, become economically independent, to have a better health. We have all these tools, and we will be happy to give it to you.
Yay! Well, thank you so much for today. Thanks for watching. Please just like and share and spread this very important message to people. Just want to get all of this out to everyone. So
Peace.
Yay! Thank you.